How do you, because working in the media is very tough and busy, and it's, sometimes it's not flexible on a schedule, right?
It's not flexible at all.
Right.
I mean, I was working 3 jobs a day. I was hardly sleeping.
How do you maintain, and how do you, balance motherhood and career?
You can do anything. A mother is so strong. A mother's love, there's no love like a mother's love.
Thank you so much for your time, Kaya-san.
Thank you, Mana-san. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to see you again.
ありがとうございます。So, you have had such an incredible journey, from being a top model to balancing motherhood, and now you are returning to the global stage.
Yes.
With more confidence than ever. And I saw in your blog that you have been traveling to Paris, New York, and other more places.
Yes.
And I'm so appreciate you to be here despite your busy schedule. And thank you so much again.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you asked me to be here. I'm so happy.
Thank you. And actually today is a spring day. Shunbun no hi, the shooting we're today, Shunbun no hi.
Yeah, look at the beautiful sky outside.
Yeah.
It's be gorgeous.
So I feel like this is a perfect day to make conversations with you because you embody transformation and new beginnings, right?
That's what life is about. It's always transforming into something else, changing the energy into something else.
Yeah.
Learning from our experiences, learning from everything in life. It's about growth.
Yes. Yeah, so this makes our talks even more meaningful, I guess.
Because of the day.
Yes.
New beginnings.
New
Love
beginning.
that. I think every day is a new beginning.
Love your talk, yeah. You feel that? Yeah.
Every day I wake up and I meditate and I think what beautiful adventures are waiting for this day. I think every day we have a new chance, a new opportunity to grow, to learn in every experience.
You do that every day? Like, you work in a industry that's really tough, right? Modeling industry and this entertainment industry is very tough, right? And you do meditation even in busy schedule?
Absolutely. Every day since I've been a little girl. I meditate at least 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon. That 20 minutes is so important to remain peaceful, have joy in my heart, and always lead with love. That's the only thing that we can do. But if we're not centered at the base of our soul, we become confused about the outer noise and we listen to other people when really we have to listen to our inner being. Where are we right now? What is this experience teaching us? Everything has to come from within. But when we're too busy and, I can't meditate today, I can't do this, then we lose our center. When we lose our center, we get swayed by the negativity in life, and there's so much negativity around us. That's why I base myself with positive people around me and I follow my inner voice. Like home today, I wasn't supposed to be here today, like we know, right? Let's just be truthful.
Yeah, because
I had a really confusion about being here today.
Yes.
But I always in my life try to keep my word. If I make a promise, I can only respect myself. And every morning when I wake up in the mirror, I have to respect the person that's looking back at me. And that's myself. So without all the other noise and all the fear and all the, like, you can't do that because this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But as long as we follow everything with love and peace, and I know who I am, and I know who you are at your base, I believe in what we're doing, and I believe that if we can touch one person, just one person, and we can give inspiration or some kind of hope or flicker of, she can do it, I can do that too. That's what's important in life. It's not about, fear is so many people are fearful of everything. What if this happens? What if that happens? Fear of being alone, fear of their situation, fear of not being enough, exactly who they are. But, letting go of all that fear and just following the peaceful path it always is going to lead you to something greater in life. Always.
Right.
You're always going to end up with something more at the end. And that's what I hope this conversation will be about.
Yeah. So we cannot wait to hear your insights and your journey, your experiences. So let's begin.
Didn't we begin already? Wasn't that beginning?
We're going down to the topics that script. なんかカイヤさんの声は your voice?
Yes.
It's so calming.
Really?
Yeah. And it's so different from what I've seen you on televisions.
Oh, really?
It's so different. You like the way you talk. I don't know. I want to hear your voice every single day.
Oh, that's so nice.
Before I go to the bed, this is so relaxing and calming.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, 本当に.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So going down to the supermodel life, I really wanna ask you about. So you have been in many places, and I heard you are getting more offers.
Yes.
Like,
thank you so much.
Like super global, international magazines or like
so grateful
media. And how do you feel about your career now?
Now or for forever? I'm always grateful. I'm totally grateful. I feel blessed for all the opportunities that I've been given in this life. And but it's not exactly about I do Vogue or I do Times Square billboard or I do this or I do that. It's about the experience, the people that I meet, the new adventure, the new challenge, and about inspiring others that whatever situation you're in, whatever happens to you, you can always rise above that. You can always get to where you're going. And it's all about timing and stuff like that, I believe. So no matter all the things that I went through to get back to where I am now, they were all important for my growth and my experience in life. To get here. So I don't think it matters about, how old you are, what kind of condition you're mentally in or anything like that. I just believe that it's focusing on your dream and never giving up on that, just focusing. Because I don't know if you know, but I was in a terrible car accident last year in March that I was hit on the freeway. I was completely stopped and I was hit so hard that I actually damaged my cheekbones. I couldn't walk. I was throwing up every day. I was walking to the toilet. I was crawling to the toilet. But right when I was going to get to everything I wanted to get, it was all taken away. And then instead of living that fear that they told me I'd never wear high heels, I'd never be able to walk in a fashion show again, and my back would keep curving down. I couldn't even raise my arms. My knee was completely damaged, my back, my head. I'm still doing rehabilitation at the moment, but I think in those situations when it's all dark, it's the light that you have to follow. It's the little tiny light that you have to believe that this is all happening for the better of yourself, and never stop focusing on the goal that you have in your life. And every morning I would meditate and I would see myself walking again on the runway. I'd see myself in Paris. I'd see myself in New York. And that actually becomes a part of your reality, how you can see yourself, how you can feel yourself in a situation.
You visualize it.
Exactly. And I was actually there, in my own head. So, and even though, it's not fully recovered at the moment, I'm still, walking the Paris shows, walking the New York shows, doing my modeling and through that pain, knowing that maybe it'll touch somebody else that's going through a physical pain, emotional pain.
How do you overcome that? How do you overcome?
I think it's letting go of the fear. You have to let go of that fear of the outside people. Like the doctor said, you'll never wear heels again. And he showed me the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life. He said to me, you have to wear these shoes. And I thought to myself in my head, even if I'm 120, I'd never wear those shoes. In my life, you're not going to get me in these shoes. And I looked him in the eyes and said, no, that was last year. I'll be walking in the Paris this year in October. And he said,
ありがとうございます。
no, you will not. He said, that is impossible. He said, you will never wear heels. Your back is going to keep going down, down, down. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm getting there. So I will be here every day doing rehabilitation. I will do everything I need to get there. And the next time I went to my appointment, I was wearing heels.
Oh, well.
Of course, I put them on outside the clinic. I couldn't walk there in heels. But I put them outside, and he looks at me. He's like, "This woman has lost her mind. You know, she's crazy." But now he sees that. You know, I think really humans, they don't use the brain. All of us, we don't use the brain as much as we can. You know, I think we just lose such a little part of our brain.
We don't maximize it.
We don't. We don't at all. And it's just like I said before, the outside noise of somebody telling you can't do something.
Yeah.
That's fuel to me.
Yes.
If somebody tells me you can't do it, okay,
Like
watch me.
Oh, so, like I've been into a fortune teller things, and she told me like, oh, you can't do this, and this year it's going to travel, blah blah blah, and I completely believe that.
But that's a fear.
Yeah.
That's everything is based in a fear. When you hear something outside noise, that it's a what if. But what if that's not the case? What if you can let go of that fear? Just get inside your heart and believe in yourself. I believe that loving ourselves, treating ourselves with total respect, that we have outcomes that are far beyond anybody. Look at Olympic, sports people, anybody. They can do it. We can do it too. Like modeling too. You'll never model again. Look, I'm modeling. I'm traveling. I'm doing everything I said I would do. Believe in yourself. Believe in that small little voice.
Yeah.
I can.
Oh, yes.
I can do it.
You define gravity.
Yeah, it's just about belief though. The trust that this moment, if you live fully in this moment, the next moment there's something magical waiting. I really believe that. But people live, if right now we're talking and I'm thinking about something else, or I think I have to do something else or go someplace else, because they're not fully in this moment. This moment is all we have right now. So it's so powerful to be in this moment.
Yeah, it's
speaking
a present.
with you. It's a present, exactly. The past is the past. I never drive my car looking in the rearview mirror. I drive my car looking straight ahead, being in the moment. That's how I live my life. I'm here and I'm gonna have a good time.
Wow, it's so great to hear your wonderful souls and your tips of being here, and it's so incredible. And it's something that we can, it's something that we can do. Trusting myself, it's so hard. In a situation of like busy and this social life, like we always are watching social media and we care about what others people might think about me or something. But yeah, it's great tips to be here.
But I feel that our what we say into the universe is so important. Like you just said, it's so hard.
Yeah.
When we tell ourselves it's hard, it's even harder.
Right.
Because I believe this is our computer, and if we want to produce good things out of our life, our beings, it's the talk that's so important.
Yeah. In Japanese, we say kotodama.
Kotodama.
Kotodama means like your language. The words that you say is your soul.
Yes, I really believe that. I was brought up that way. Do not speak what you do not want to be in existence. Speak only that what you want to exist.
Yeah.
And that is so important in life.
Yeah.
Because nothing is difficult. If we put it in our brain it's difficult, it's certainly going to be difficult.
Right.
But more than that, more than the outside noise and us speaking, is our inner voice. Sometimes we give up because of our inner voice, about what we're taught as a child. Like, you're not enough. You're a bad girl. You're a bad this. You can't do this. You'll never accomplish anything. Those voices in our head are
always
still in our head. And we have to get rid of those voices. We have to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and say, I love you. I respect you. And that's the only way we can cancel out that all that trauma as a child, being bullied, being told something that was not true, but still a teacher being mean to us. It's all here. The only way we can clean that up is every day loving ourselves so we can love others.
Yeah.
You unlock trauma by waking up every day and loving yourself and living in complete love. What I do in the morning, I've done this ever since I was a child. My mother is Native American, so she believes everything natural. I never take medicine, I don't do anything. I try to live as natural as I can. Our thoughts too. Our thoughts produce our beings. So every morning I would wake up and I would have to say what I'm grateful for. And it could not be like brushing our teeth. You know, people brush their teeth, they wake up, they live in this robotic state that they don't even think what they're doing. It's just a routine. But every day you wake up and you say what you're grateful for. What in your life is so important to you and grateful for that it changes who you are, I think. Gratitude, oh no, I was going to speak Japanese. I don't know why. But everything is born through gratefulness.
Yeah.
Everything. And gratefulness causes us to have more love in our heart.
Right.
And then I always send out love to 5 different people. And it might be 5 people. It might be yesterday somebody said something really bad to me, or I send that person love because forgiveness is the most important thing we can do in our life. And it's not about forgiving them. It's about us. It's about creating more love in our hearts and more peace in our soul and more joy.
Yeah.
Everything in our life is, we don't walk through life being loved by everybody. We can never be loved by everybody.
Right.
And nobody's going to understand us 100%. And especially me being in the media and people thinking I'm one person when I'm not. It's so important to base your life on forgiveness. Forgiving everything and anything that happened in life.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah, I want to hear your insights about more forgiveness because you faced many challenges like you said in the media they you once label like oniyome like demon bride, which is I don't like.
Demon bride is not an American word actually, and I know we don't have that in English, do we?
Yeah, oniyome.
Demon bride. It sounds like a Halloween character. Yeah.
Sorry to translate,
but I love that when I see that when they translate demon bride. I love that. I think that's a fabulous.
You love
word
that
because it's so out there.
If I were you, I get mad.
But think about that. Somebody made my character for them to have a better career because they had no career. Somebody made
at that time,
at that time because they needed that to survive. But that's a family member that did that. But rather than forgiving everybody in the media, I have to forgive that person. I have to look inside that person's heart and think, why did he do that to me? He did that for survival, for himself. And there was no love. If there's love, people can't do that to somebody else. Love for himself, love for other people. But for me to be mad at the media for a character that somebody created, what I think, wow, I played that character good.
Yeah.
I did a really good job for everybody to believe that's who I was. Because it's a total opposite of who I am.
But despite audiences, everyone, have negative images.
Not everyone, because if I meet somebody on the street, they're gonna know who I am. If I have the great opportunity of meeting someone, or my family, or my friends, or whoever I'm surrounded with, they know who I am.
Yeah.
Nobody in the whole world is ever going to know who you are. It's impossible. If you're trying to please other people for the way you live your life, you're living a not such a good life.
Right.
I choose to surround myself with love and the people that love me, and I support them. But if one person sees me on the street, they're going to know that's not who I am.
Right.
I mean, it's impossible.
It is, it is.
Because your soul is on the outside. It shows in your face, your eyes. When you're acting, that's a whole different thing. Acting is not reality.
Right.
TV is not reality. It's
I can tell that.
but
I
it's
can tell
two
it right
different
now.
things, right? It's totally opposites.
Yes.
But you can choose that, and you could use that, the things you see or the things people say about you can use that to harden your heart and live in bitterness and live in, why did they think, why is that happening to me? Why do they think that's who I am? Or you could just lead by love. The people that see you on the street and say, oh, quiet, or whatever they say, you give them a smile.
Oh.
You give them the love from your heart. That's we all have a choice. We all have a choice in this minute to be joyful or to be sad. It's our choice. But the same amount of time is going to be clicking by. It's our choice. And I will always lead with love. No matter what happens in any situation, I will not let my heart be hardened and live in bitterness because it's not who I am.
Yeah.
And all those situations help me grow. And it's unpeeling about who I truly am and how I want to live my life and how I want to treat other people. But usually when people say something bad about you or they have a negative impression about you, it's not about me. It's about them. It's about the life that they lived, about the pain they have in their heart, about the circumstances they can't accept who they are. So they see something in me, in that character, that they can't accept. It has nothing to do with me at all.
But normally people, like emotions comes first, right? Like, for example, if someone gets betrayal or disappointment, I get sad at the first, but
Normal reaction.
Yeah, but even though you have been through many challenges, like I said, betrayal or disappointment, but you being used by the media, right? But you
I don't know if it was the media or the person who needed the character. I'm not sure who it was, but but both. I don't know, but that's okay. Either or.
Either, yeah. But you forgave them with love.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you do that? Like,
because we cannot control. We have one thing to control in this life. Only one thing we control, and that is how we react to a situation. That's the only thing we have control of. I can't control somebody that wants to go out and betray me. I can't control somebody that's going to lie to me. I can't control somebody that wants to use me for some better good for themselves. All I can control is in all those situations how I want to react to them. And that's my choice.
Yeah.
My choice is not to look through my eyes of my pain, but to look through that person's eyes and think, why does that person have to do that? Is there a reason that person has to do that? When I look at somebody, like when I look at you, Nana, I look in your eyes and I see, what have you been through in your life that made you this individual? I think that's really important because we all live with ego, pride. It means nothing. It means entirely nothing in our life. It's not going to take us to another step. It's not going to make us a better person. It's just going to rip our life apart. I'm not like that. That's not me. What are you talking about? Nobody cares about that. This means nothing, entirely nothing. It's just such a small thing. And I'm not going to spend my life living in ego and pride. I was put on this earth, like all of us, with a mission to make it a better place than we left. That's it.
Wow.
That's all we have.
That's all we have, yeah.
I'm not gonna go out, leave this earth with my bag or my money or my whatever I have in this earth. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna try to leave at a better place than I got here. I'm just borrowing these things. They mean absolutely nothing. If you really think about it, on the scope of our life.
Yeah. It
The
means
scope
nothing.
of every minute of our life. Do we wanna have this, or do we wanna live in love and have a good memory?
Yeah.
Do we wanna have a good connection today? Or wow, I can't wait to see Nana again. I can't wait to have a different interaction with her and exchange our energy.
Yeah.
That's all we have is energy. That's it.
Yeah.
So our energy should be as positive as we can.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, we have to surround ourselves with positivity.
Right. So you get rid of negative people or negativities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I once read the book. Like you are made of the 5 people that surrounded by you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But not only the 5 people you surround yourself with, what you're watching on a daily basis,
Oh yeah.
what you're putting in your brain. What do you put in your brain for the morning? You get up, you stub your foot, and you say, oh my God, this is going to be a horrible day. You know? Oh my God, I want to go back to bed. Or you can stub your foot, laugh about it, and say, I'm going to change that energy. I'm going to make this the best day of my life. Right? You got a choice.
Yeah.
But we're so weak in our minds to go towards the negative. The gossip about people. Did you know that? Oh my God, that's terrible. I will never spend my time talking about somebody because it's only a reflection of how weak and how miserable I am if I have to talk about somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, I am. Yeah. I'm being miserable. Yeah. That's not what I
Yeah,
want.
I would never center myself around people that wanted to do that. I don't have time for that. I'm here to do good things.
Yeah.
Live in love. Make my soul joyful.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be every minute.
Yeah. Talking with you is very inspiring because you prove that the beauty comes within.
Absolutely.
Like everyone tells about your timeless beauty, right? And I do think that you have timeless beauty, but it comes like everyday's routine or like inside. That's what you told. That's what I learned from you.
Absolutely. Has nothing to beauty. There's so many different types of beauty. Beauty is not about perfection.
But well, like you're a supermodel and you walked many runways. And Nina is a model too, like my assistant. And I used to be model as well, professional model. But everyone's it's you know, when I go to auditions, I get labeled. I get you know, I have to think about the standard of beauty. I had to.
Why?
Because
Are you comparing yourself to somebody else?
I tried avoid comparing myself, but inside of myself, without thinking anything, I compare myself by someone.
Stop it.
Simple, very simple word.
I am not Nana. I will never become Nana.
Yeah.
I will never become Mina. No matter how hard I try. I will never become you.
Yeah.
I can only be the best me. That's it. That's all I have. Natural is the best way. I will never think, oh, Raya Machine. I'm so jealous of that. I hate that word. When people say that, I said, stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. Why are you jealous of that person? Look at all you have. It's not about comparing ourselves. They want somebody and that person will get that job.
Yeah.
The job that's meant for me will be mine. That's it. Just acceptance. Acceptance of what will be. And everything in life has a meaning. Every single solitary minute is not wasted. unless you choose to waste it.
Right.
You accept it. You totally accept it. Okay, I accept this minute. I accept that that job wasn't for me, but there is something greater waiting for me. I know it's there.
Yeah.
I believe in me. I believe what I have to offer, not on the outside. It has nothing to do with that. There are beautiful, beautiful people. You look at them and you're scared to death because they reflect something in their heart that is not about love. It's always living with appreciation and kindness. That's what's important.
Kindness.
And that's what reflects on the outside.
Yeah. Totally understand. Yeah.
But I just want to be me.
Yeah.
I'm just Kaya. That's it. That's all it is. That's all I have. I'm Kaya.
I'm going to stop to say urayamashi forever.
That is the worst word I've ever heard in the. That's the worst word. There's a couple. Urayamashi, shogunai. I hate that word. I hate it. Stop it. What can't be helped? If you focus on something, you know, oh, you can't do that, shogunai. I can do that. There's no shogunai in my vocabulary. The words you teach yourself, I can't. It's difficult. I give up. I will never use those words. I think you met me quite a few times.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used a negative word.
No, not at all.
It just doesn't come out of my mouth. And if somebody says something to me, I will focus on that word and I will change it to a positive. That's the way I taught my kids. I taught my kids never, what do you want? Never say what you don't want. Never. Because that's not what's important. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you want. Focus on how you want to get there. That's the most important thing in life, is that we focus. We're determined. We know that anything that's in our heart is there for a reason, and we focus on that, and we make it happen.
That's so true. That is so true. And you're making that, you know, you are, you know, you visualize it and you make all those visions and your dreams come true.
Every single one of them. And I got a lot more to go. I decided to live to 100, be on the runway to 100, and I'm going to 120, healthy, physically, in the mind, in the soul, in the body. So I think how we treat ourselves on a daily basis, what we feed ourselves, what we feed our minds, is all the creation of how far we can go in our life. Because if you're not treating yourself right, if you're not treating yourself, if you're not feeding ourselves with nutritious things, feeding our mind with inspirational things, the road's going to be a long road.
Yeah.
But if we do those things, it's such a short time. Exactly last year, accident. Never going to walk straight again. Walking, only a few months later, being in a collection. That's our mind. Don't let your mind fail you with your thoughts.
Right. Your brain controls you.
Absolutely. But we let outside noise and our inner voice control us.
Yeah.
That's what we let control us.
And I would just want to talk about this kind of what we attached with, like attachment, or like we can't let it go, right?
We can't? What are you saying to me now? What are you saying? We can't? We can't?
Oh, sorry.
Is that impossible?
It is possible. But I used to be a girl who was so obsessed with the things, or obsessed with the people, and obsessed with what I have. And I could not let them go. And I think many people today still struggling with, cannot let it go. But but do you have any advice for them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think attachment is just a fear. That's all it is. It's based in fear. And letting go of that, it's it's such a release, you know, letting go of what other people think of us or what we have, or it's so superficial. Means absolutely nothing. It's just a fear. It's just about talking to yourself on a daily basis about who you are. Nobody wants to live in fear, but it's society that constantly teaches us, oh, this is scary, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, oh my God, I don't have that, I'm not like that person. Duh. All it is words. That's why silence is so important. But people are so fearful of being by themselves for a small time in silence. It's like, oh, I need to telephone. Oh, I need to watch something on TV. Oh, I don't want to be by myself, so I'll go out. When we are in total silence within ourselves, and just a thought comes in, let it go. Another thought comes in, let it go. That's the time when we can be inspired about our lives, because those thoughts are the thoughts that are going to create our future. Just fear, let it go. You know, we can't have fear and we can't have love at the same time. They're two opposite emotions. Just like we can't be sad and happy at the same time. They're two different emotions. But even through the sadness, when we grow, we can turn that pain into joy. That's our choice. Which road are we going to take?
Right.
We're going to take I've never been a person that, oh my God, I'm such a victim of my own life. You know, people say, oh my God, this happened and then this happened. We all have stories. Every one of us have a story. And believe me, I have a lot of stories.
Everyone has a lot of stories.
Right, everybody.
Yeah.
But are we going to live in that story? What? I am not a victim of my life.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing to be, is a victim of your own life. This happened. So, this happened to me. What am I going to do? Dosho. Or this happened to me. How can I make this a learning experience to get to this person? Or am I going to attach this to myself? It's like me taking my luggage every day of my life, everything I own, and taking it everywhere I go. How heavy is that for my life? Do I want to be attached to all that?
No.
Do I want to be attached to past relationships? Do I want to be attached to accidents that happened in my life or jobs I didn't get? I'm going to put all that on my back and carry it everywhere?
Right.
No, I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to say, okay, what did this teach me? What did this really teach me? What did I learn from that? What can I take from this experience to build upon on my life now at this moment? But people are too scared to look at that.
Yeah.
They're so fearful. But when they finally face that, and they finally face their heart and they talk to themselves, you don't need to talk to anybody else. Just talk to yourself. When you truly open up that,
Right.
your whole world becomes different. Like somebody would look and say, God, it's cloudy today. I look at this, wow, look at that blue sky, right? It's like, what are you looking at, the clouds or the blue sky?
It's all about your perception. Yeah, perception.
The perception on life, it's all about it. And you can change your perception, and I can't do that. I'm not like her, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Anybody can do that. It's a choice. Everything's a choice. We have a choice. Every minute of the day we have a choice. How to feel, how to react, how to do something. We have a choice.
Yeah.
It's our choice. That's why life is so freeing.
Right.
And when you let go of all that shit,
It's okay.
when you let go of all that, wow, how freeing is that? How freeing. You can fly. You can go anywhere you want. You're not supposed to be bound up by all that stuff and not being able to move. That's not what life's about. Life is about going to the next chapter. But when you're comfortable in life, that's the worst thing. You should never be comfortable. You should always be striving for something else, moving in a direction that you want to go into.
Yeah.
Don't waste your life clicking through social media. God, what an awful thing.
Right.
Get out and live your life. Don't be living other people's life. Live your life.
Yeah. And break into your comfort zone and go out and have fun.
Absolutely.
and challenging yourself.
Absolutely. That's what life's about.
Like, where do your coolness and your toughness came from? But like, you came to Japan first time at Unichika campaign, right? Swimsuit campaign.
Yeah, and Suntory whiskey commercial.
Yeah, and the first time to be in
From
Japan.
France, yeah.
And you shaped your life in here.
Yes, but there was a road that I chose to go down because I was already had many jobs, and I was actually shooting Vogue in Africa at the time that I got the telephone call to do Unichika campaign. And my agency in New York didn't realize that I got that job. My agency in France, which is an affiliation of the agency in New York, decided to call me while I was in Africa. And I don't know if you know my story, but when I was 6 years old, I decided to come to Japan. I had a teacher who was a missionary her whole life. Her whole family was a missionary, and they were traveling throughout the world. And instead of teaching us in class, she would show us a part of the world. And I was very shy, and I couldn't talk to people. And through my imagination that she created in my world, I went to different places inside my mind. And she showed me a book of Japan, and when I first saw it, and I saw Kinkakuji, and I saw Maiko, and I saw all these beautiful things, I said, can I take this book home to my family? I want to tell them that I'm going here. And she loaned me the book, and I don't know if you know my story, but I lived in a 200 population community.
Yeah, it's very small village.
Very small village. You drive an hour and you still can't see anything. Cows and pigs. And it's no shops, no nothing. I was a complete tomboy. So I take the book home to my parents and my two older sisters, older than me, quite older than me, and my sister, and I said, look guys, I'm going to Japan at 6 years old. My sister's what? You don't even know where that is. You're never gonna get there. What are you talking about? And I thought, I'm gonna go, I will go. And my father, through the experiences during the war, he didn't want me to come to Japan. I had a very, very negative feeling about Japan. But anyways, so when I got the call, there was this 6-year-old little girl in my head that thought, I'm going. I'm going to the place of my dreams. That's where I'm going. And I was jumping up and down, and I still had to finish the shoot for Vogue and on the west part of Africa. And I didn't know, but I was scheduled to go back to New York to shoot Cosmopolitan, and I was doing all this other stuff. And they told me, you'll be going to Japan. I thought, oh my God, when? I'd go today, you know? And dropped the phone. Within an hour, very big agency boss, Eileen Ford, which I was living with her. She called me and she said, you won't be going to Japan. Japan is not the place for you. You're scheduled to do shoots, and we already have your career mapped out for you. You can't go. And I said, just let me go. Just one job, I'll come back. Just let me go. She says, you can't. Your look is not in Japan. This is not where you should be. And I said, I just begged her, and I was crying. And I said, just trust me, trust me. She said, no. And I said, I'm sorry, then. I quit. Dropped the phone. Came to Japan.
You made it. And you, in a new country, and you met a family. And facing, personal challenges in public eyes, right? How did it shape you?
Everything you do in your life shapes you. But at the time, I wanted to stay with my children when they were small. I think it's really important until a child's 3 years old that you give them all the love and attention that a mother can give the child. This is what I believe in. And it's really important that you shape their life in those really important years. And so instead of going back to modeling, I decided to focus on the two of them. And I focused on them. And as soon as my child hit 4, I knew that my children, being half Japanese, half American, as my responsibility as a mother, I have to give them both of those cultures. There's no way I can just have them live in Japan and not give them the American side, my culture. So I knew that I had to work, and I had to work really hard. So when they were small, I was teaching 100 students a week at holding them at the same time, because I didn't have an income, and my partner at the time had no jobs. So I knew I had to work hard to raise them. But when they hit, I knew the only possible chance of me being able to give them the life that they deserved was to take the opportunity to work in TV. And throughout the career, at first I started as being me, but as my partner had no work, I had to find a way for him to get a job also. And through his idea and his creation of my character, we worked together and apart, of course. But the first 6 months of my career, I got an award. I did over 300 jobs in 6 months. I was working 3 TV shows a day. And it was all with the back of love for my children, because I knew that they needed me. And after that, being a single parent when my children were very small, only one income coming in, I knew that I had to work. So being a mother and working in the media, it's not about which was important. It was about giving the best I could to both worlds. And when I was with my children, giving them full attention, full on, no telephone, nothing, just focusing on who they were and focusing on the quality time that I could give them.
Right.
And then when I was working, focusing on that to create a future for my children.
Wow. You choosing a career, but
I didn't choose the career. I chose both.
Yeah,
the balance
both.
of both of them.
How do you, because working in the media is very tough and busy, and it's, sometimes it's not flexible on a schedule, right?
It's not flexible at all. I mean, I was working 3 jobs a day. I was hardly sleeping.
How do you maintain, and how do you, balance motherhood and career?
I think it's how you put yourself mentally. I think motherhood teaches us patience, resilience, strength. You can never get anything that you can't. You can get more strength, more patience, more everything being a mother. Because when you got that little soul that you have to protect with all your might, and you want everything good for them, you can do anything. A mother is so strong. A mother's love, there's no love like a mother's love. No love. You will stand in front of them and take a bullet for them. So protecting those 2 little souls and being a mother and a father to them, having the love and the strength to discipline at the same time. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of single mothers out there. It's a very difficult, very difficult road, but not an impossible road. And it's how you look at it. It's a 24-hour job. Plus you have your own job. You're a nurse, a doctor, a healer, a counselor. You're all those things to your child that you have to be. You're on call 24 hours a day. But it's the balance you put in your heart. It's like you look at your child. The child did something wrong. You can suddenly get angry because you're frustrated.
Right.
Or you can take that opportunity, take a breath, and decide how you're going to deal with the situation. And I've never treated my children like they were below me or they were something that I owned. I always sat my children down and I said, what are we going to do in this situation? What would you do? What do you think? What do you think about it? And then they tell me what they think, and I'd say, well, I think like this. So how are we going to come to a compromise about this? And then it taught them decision making. It taught them that my mother's strong. They look at a mother. I'll never forget when I did the wrestling. I was watching WWE, and I was watching it with my children. And my son loved the WWE. He's just like infatuated with it. And when I was little, I used to watch it with my father. I was from a very small age. I have four girls in my family. I'm the 3rd girl. I was the tomboy, always doing sports with my dad, always with my dad. And we'd always, on Saturday, that was our time, we watched wrestling. So I was watching, always with my father, wrestling. And my son, my daughter, and we were watching wrestling one night, WWE. And I said, wow, I'd love to know how it would be like to be in that ring. I just love to know what's the feeling. I always thought when I was little I'd get in that ring one time. I said it. When you say something, you take responsibility for it. So my son and my daughter said, why don't you do it? And I thought, wow. I got a moment here. I took a breath and I said, okay, let me call my agency tomorrow and ask if I can meet up with Hustle and see if I can do it. Okay. He said, are you really going to do it? Are you really going to do it? I said, I don't know if I can do it, but I said, I'd try to do it. I'll give it my best shot. So I called the next day. I said, told him the situation. My manager said, are you crazy? You can't do that. And I said, just let me see them. Let me meet them one time. I met them, told them the story. I said, listen, this is a teaching moment for my children. If you give me this opportunity, I'll do my best I possibly can to make. I'll give it my 100%. So I said, wow, okay. Never thinking they're gonna say okay, right? They said okay. So I go home and I said, I'm gonna be at Saitama Arena. I'm gonna be the top show of Saitama Arena. Said, oh, really? You're really gonna do that, Mama? It's a teaching moment. What we say, we have to teach our children. We're going to try to do it. If they would have said no, I'd say, hey, listen, I talked to them. They didn't really think it was a good idea, but I did my best. But showing them that nothing is impossible. Even a small idea you have in your heart. And I did it for 1.5 or 2 years, I think, you know, so it was incredible experience of my life. But it taught them and me also. Right? The children are always constantly watching you. Yes. They're watching what you say, what you do, how you act. It's a responsibility. Right.
本当になんか when I first met you, it's the first time I met you and I know you from televisions, but I feel like we've been knowing each other since, a long time ago. It's so strange feeling, but you've been no.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so cute. And
but I think that the time we met was we got to know each other very deep, very shortly because of the situation and the situation we were both in at the time. But I think that meeting was really, really a special meeting.
For me too,
I'm really happy and grateful that I met you. And that you're in my life. And I just want to say that I'm very grateful for this chance to talk.
Me
and to see you. And I hope that we continue, having a friendship that will last for a very long time. Because I really respect you.
Thank you.
And that's why I'm here today. Because I'm here because out of the respect I have for you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it too. There's no enough time to ask you a question.
But I'm sure after my manager sees this, he'll give us another opportunity to have another talk.
Yes, I think so.
I think it's just the showing people that you don't have bad intention. That you're totally on the right path to shine your light. And we all have a light. We can dim it or we can brighten it. It's whatever we want to do.
All right, so
shine bright. That song.
Thank you so much for coming here, and thank you so much for your energy and your time and your thoughts and your insights and everything. Okay, we're gonna finish the talk, but please come back here again.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to
I know where you are.
Do another talks.
I know where you are.
I'm here always. Okay, so thank you so much. Kaya-san deshita.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.